Hi We Are Movie Club, it's me Jenny, and this is a very belated review for Clayton's pick. I'll put a link to him somewhere up here, which was George A. Romero's Land of the Dead. And my quick review for this, and I'm going to try and keep it brief, is that it's a good fun horror flick that if you like zombies, go and watch it, because there's some interesting different mythology points put into it. And from a directorial standpoint, there's a huge level of competency throughout. You can tell that George A. Romero has got experience in the genre. The way that the blood is popped on screen, the use of light and dark, the way that the jump scares got me every single time. There's some absolutely beautiful timeless zombie shots, like the one where they all come out of the water. It's scary. Very scary. There's a lot of interesting character choices, particularly the morality of the characters, the main villain and his choices. It's very interesting. For me personally, the thing that put this above your average zombie film is the fact that it made me think about a lot of other zombie mythologies. I like the idea of intelligent zombies and the fact that they can use weapons. Really reminded me of the Las Plagas and Ouroboros zombies from Resident Evil 4 and 5. I really like the idea of zombies with jobs, which was introduced to me from Resident Evil films, where you dress a zombie specifically for a character so you can really see what they were like before, rather than in things like The Walking Dead where they kind of turn them into a nameless horde. And this one really gave characters to the zombies. On the same level, the prosthetics and makeup for the most part was really well done. Big Daddy and his kind of girl hench person character, the zombie characters, the more I looked at them, the more they freaked me out. I think the only weak point, in fact, in terms of makeup was towards the end where one of the characters, no spoilers, gets bitten and comes back as a zombie, and when he eventually cuts out of the light, into the light where you can see his face, I was a little bit disappointed by that, but, you know, needs must, and it works within that film, so it wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as the rest of the effects. The animatronics, like how they got the blood to spurt, like the one out of the belly button, that was really well done. Lots of guts going everywhere throughout this film. It was nice and interesting to watch. If you're a horror buff, go and enjoy it. I really like that this feels kind of like a transitional zombie film. It's not during the first bout of the zombie apocalypse, and it's not post-zombie apocalypse anarchy. It's kind of in this really weird, I've never really seen it before, kind of interim where the government isn't as it is now, and it's not anarchy, but it's definitely really odd and bizarre, the fact that the people who have the money and the people that are weakest are still the ones in power, and there's an entire kind of group that are so unexposed to the world they haven't really changed at all, and yet the ones at the bottom who are experiencing the real world still need the support of the people with the money. It feels slightly odd to me. It was interesting, but definitely not something that I could buy in on to a logical level. It was definitely a nice thought, but not something that I would see as particularly realistic. But it was a nice kind of twist. I think the thing that I really loved about this film, and that really sold me beyond anything else, was the concept that again, from The Walking Dead, the idea that The Walking Dead aren't the zombies, that they're the people because they've lost their sense of humanity. The idea that even, you know, obviously the main villain has got a low sense of empathy. We've got one character who's kind of like, you're not really sure where he's going to go. He definitely has his own motives. And then we've got our hero character who, you know, he is the hero. He fishes his friend out of a fire. He shows more empathy than a lot of other characters, but he'll still, you know, won't fight when a girl shoots someone in the head in front of him, and he doesn't seem to have a problem with saying, I don't want to know your life story, I'm not interested in your life story, which shows that there is definitely a gap to where we are now and where these characters are. They are losing part of their empathy, while the zombies are gaining a part of their empathy. The first time you realise that something is really wrong with Big Daddy is that he is mourning. He gets really angry and upset because one of his horde gets shot. That's the first time you really think there's something not right here, and as those characters progress you really get this sort of weird zombie bond between them. So they, as they progress and as we go down, it's a really interesting sort of system. So yeah, it's quite interesting, it's quite gory. If you like zombie films and you like gore and you like violence, watch it. If you're a bit of a wimp like me, maybe give this one a skip. And if you are really into really very realistic zombie apocalypse films, that seems like a contradiction in terms, but maybe you can give this one a skip. But definitely worth watching once. And thank you for the pick, and I'm sorry it's up so late, and I'm about to go watch Brick, or Courtney, who I'll put a link to up here. Sorry it was so late. I think I've only got one more person to watch, and then I've caught up with all of We Are Movie Club. So yay! And if you're wondering what happened to my arm, I was baking and I burnt myself, and that's why cupcakes are evil. But so good, but on the side of evil. And that's why I will see you all tomorrow. Bye guys.